everyone, welcome to Physics Wala. My name is Rubena Talwar and today we are going to do our first English chapter, that is a letter to God. So how are you, my Spartan? What are you doing at your home? This channel is solely meant for your preparation. So let us begin our first chapter, that is a letter to God. A letter to God? Who is writing this letter? Who is the protagonist of the story? We are going to see a detailed explanation in only one video with NCERT. Which topics we are going to cover up is about the chapter, about the author, detailed explanation, and NCERT with PYQs, that is previous year question answer. So in one video everything is available, you don't have to search for anything else. So let us start with the chapter, that is about the chapter, or you can say introduction to the chapter. The story revolves around the idea of having unquestionable faith in God. So in the bracket with the yellow color, there is a word meaning. So that is why you are not confused while reading the chapter. So here is, they are saying this story revolves around the idea of having unquestionable. What do you mean by unquestionable? Unquestionable is that we cannot question on that thing, right? So whenever someone is actually sending a letter to God, then you can understand the person must be having a strong belief on God. Otherwise, if I could consider me, then I have the faith in God, but to write a letter, it means it is a big step in the faith process. Now, who is sending the letter to God? The story is the one taking place in the Latin American country. The story plot is in Latin American country. Lancho, a protagonist of the story, writes a letter to God. So we were saying someone is writing a letter, but who is someone? Lancho. Lancho is the main character who is writing a letter to God. For what purpose he is writing the God? For what purpose he is writing a letter to God? You must be curious for this. So let us see this. In the letter, he seeks help from the Almighty. Who is the Almighty here? The Supreme God. God. The Supreme, most powerful. That is the God. As he discovered his entire crop yield has been destroyed by a devastating hailstorm. So there was a hailstorm, and because of this, the whole crop yield was destroyed. So Lancho was having nothing. He was a farmer actually, and what he was seeing, that whole field is having the hailstorm. Everything is covered with this snow like a salt. And he's confused that what to do and what not to do. But he was having a strong faith in God. So he thought, okay, let me send a letter to God. Interesting, na? Let us see. Although he wishes get fulfilled partially. What do you mean by partially? Partially means not fully. Fine, I should use a yellow color. Okay. If not completely, he remains ungrateful in the end. What do you mean by this? They are saying that he was wishing to get some money. Fine. There was a wish. Lancho seeks from the God. The wish was completed, but not fully. Means something was there that God hasn't given him. But he was not satisfied with this. Sometimes in the life, we get something, but we are not thankful. But we are seeing what? Which we haven't got. And that is the problem in the life. And we are going to see the unsatisfaction of Lancho till the end of the chapter. Moreover, he questioned the honesty and modesty of the postmaster. And more than this, you will be going to see that they were the only postmasters postmaster and the employees of the postmaster. They are helping Lancho, but Lancho was just questioning on those person only who were helping him. However, these were the only who actually held him with the money, but without telling the name, in the name of God. So, what do you understand by this? whenever we are seeking a help from God, the God will not come from the heaven to the earth to help us, no? He will send somebody to help us. In a form of any person, the God will be coming to help us. So the Lancho was in this stage, he was not thankful, but actually he was questioning on those people only who were helping him. So let us read the chapter, because I am very curious by the introduction of the chapter that what was the whole story behind this. Okay. First of all, we should understand who is the author of the chapter. The author is G.L. Fintis. He was one of the greatest writers of that time, and he was a Mexican poet, novelist, and also journalist. So who was the author of A Letter to God? G.L. Fintis. He was a Mexican person. Okay. From here, the chapter has been started. The house, the only one in the entire valley, sat on the crest of a low hill. From this height, no one could see the river and the field of ripe corn dotted with the flowers that always promised a good harvest. So they are saying there is a one, what? A hill. Fine. Let me make. So what they are saying, the house, the only one in the entire valley. It means in the entire valley, in the mountains, there was a single home. In the low hill, of a low hill. Low hill means there is one height of the mountain that was of not much. Low hill, and the Lancho house was the only one in the entire valley. Fine. A low hill, single home in the entire valley. Okay. From this, one could see the river. From here, through the house, one can see the river. Fine. And the field of ripe corn dotted with flowers. Ripe means ready to be picked. It means harvested and they are ready to be picked. Corn flowers. It means the field of ripe corn dotted with flowers. It means there was the corn field and they were ready to be picked up and the flower was just blossoming. That always promised a good harvest, which always shows that the harvest has been completed. So what the introduction of the chapter told us, that Lancho house was the only one in the entire valley. It is situated on the top of the hill, that is the peak of the hill, and the hill height is very not much. It means on a low hill. From that, one could see a river, a corn-ribbed field with flowers, which promise us good harvest every time. Understood? Now, this next, you can say, paragraph. The only thing the earth needed was a downpour, or at least a shower. So the corns were ready. They had ready for the picking, but one rain is required. Fine. So at least the earth needed here was a heavy rainfall, or at least a shower. Throughout the morning, Lancho, who knew his field intimately, had done nothing else but seeing the sky towards the northeast. So Lancho was just waiting. Please God, give us a downpour, or at least a shower. So he was just praying to the God, and entire day he was seeing that clouds are coming, and he was just sitting on the field and just waiting for the rain to come. So whole day he haven't done anything. He was just sitting. He knew closely about the field, that what type of rain the field required, and he was just waiting. He was seeing to the northeast direction, and from where the skies are coming, where the clouds are coming to the sky. Clear? So this is very important. PYQ. Lancho was seeing towards which direction? You will be going to say northeast. Why? He was waiting that cloud should come and just give us a downpour, and now my field would be ready. Okay. Next. Now we are really going to get some water, woman. The woman was preparing supper. Replies, yes, God willing. The older boys were working in the field while the smaller ones were playing near the house until the woman called to them, come for dinner. Now Lancho was saying to his wife. Actually, the woman here represent the wife. Fine. We are just assuming that Lancho was just having the conversation with the wife. So he was saying to his wife, I hope we will get some water. Means, I hope the rain must coming. The woman who was preparing supper replies, yes, God willing. So she said, yes, as if God wants, then we will get some water. And she was preparing the dinner. The older boys, means maybe the sons or maybe the labor. Fine. The older boys were working in the field. The big boys were working in the fields, while the smaller one were playing near the house. And those we are saying the smaller kids, they were just playing. Until the woman called, come for the dinner. Till the time they were playing, till the time the older boys were working in the fields, till the woman called them, come beta, come and eat the dinner and have the dinner. Fine. Okay. It was during the meal that, just as Lancho had predicted, big drops of rain began to fall. So, it was during the meal when Lancho was taking the dinner, just as Lancho has predicted, as Lancho was thinking that must be rain is coming from the northeast, clouds will come, we will get a downpour, we will get a shower, at least minimum. So, the Lancho who predicted that the rain will come has come to true. What? It was during the meal that, just as Lancho has predicted, big drops of rain began to fall. Big drops of rain is falling on the floor of the earth. In the northeast, huge mountain of clouds could be seen approaching. What do you mean by this? It means Lancho was predicting from northeast clouds are coming and we will be getting the rain. And the prediction has come true. From northeast, huge mountains, black color mountain full of water, they were approaching to the northeast. The air was fresh and sweet. The air was fresh and sweet. Most of the time when I teach this chapter, the students are saying, the air is sweet. What do you mean by air is sweet? It means the air is giving a sweetness, pleasure. The air is totally fresh. And the climate, जिसे हम मौसम कहते हैं, वो बहुत सुहाना हो चुका है. Next. The man went out for no other reason. Who is the man here? Lancho. Fine. No other reason than to have the pleasure of feeling the rain on his body. And when he returned, he exclaimed, these raindrops falling from the sky, they are new coins. What do you mean by this? The man went out for no other reason. It means the Lancho was sitting in his home. He went out just to enjoy, just to have the pleasure of rain. For the farmers, if any farmer's son, daughter who is listening to this video, you must be aware of this. Or we can say in the summer, when the temperature is generally 40 to 50 degrees, and when the rain comes, we generally go out to enjoy the rain on our body. It gives us relaxing feeling. The same thing here, Lancho is experiencing, because he is a farmer and the importance of rain is very important for him. Okay. Now, the man went out for no other reason than to have the pleasure of feeling the rain on his body. And when he returned, he exclaimed when he returned home. He told, what? These aren't raindrops falling from sky. They are new coins. So in the first attempt, or you can say in the first time, Lancho symbolizes the raindrops as a new coins. He said that they are not the raindrops. Actually, they are the new coins. What is the logic behind the new coins? If rain will be coming, if rain is on the field and the crops are ripped, or you can say ripe more, then the farmer will get the money by selling the farm products. There will be the inflow of the money. The same thing, he's referring that these aren't the raindrops, but actually they are the what? Actually, they are the new coins because the income is generated. Now, the big drops are 10-cent pieces and the little one are 5. So this is the currency. Fine. So he is saying the big drops are 10-cent pieces. Very important. And the little one means the little drops are 5-cent pieces. Fine. 1 mark MCQ. Fine. So Lancho symbolizes the raindrops as new coins. Big drop 10-cent pieces and small drops 5-cent pieces. Fine. Next. With a satisfied expression, he regarded the field of ripe corn with its flower, draped in a curtain of rain. So what Lancho is explaining to us? Lancho is explaining to us that he's just having the imagination. He's very much satisfied. Wow, the rain is coming. So good. There will be the inflow of money. So he is imagining that these rain is like the raindrops. The rain is like the curtain who has draped or who has wrapped the entire field. Understood? He's saying that the rain is coming and the rain is regarded as a curtain. And when we put the curtain, we just wrap something. We generally close the room. We generally close the class. Fine. So that is, we are wrapping something. So the rain is wrapping the cornfield. Understood? Okay. With a satisfied expression, he regarded the field of ripe corn with its flowers draped in a curtain of rain. Means draped yani ki cover karna. But suddenly, a strong wind began to blow. But with no time, strong winds, heavy winds was flowing. And with the rain, very large hailstone began to fall. Along with the rain, there was a snowstones that were also coming to the ground. That was also coming to the floor of the earth. Now, this is the very, very disheartening for any farmer. Right? Rain, we actually need a rain, but we got snowstones. And because of snowstones, the entire harvest will going to be destroyed. That's so true. And that is the turning point of the chapter. What? A strong wind began to blow, and along with the rain, very large hailstone began to fall. And this is like the turning point. Till this time, the Lancho was very much excited. He was saying that the entire crop will be bringing the inflow of money. And he was symbolizing the raindrops as the new coins. But along with the rain, the hailstone make the situation worse and it will be going to destroy the entire crops. And now the Lancho is very much disheartening. Let us see what Lancho do. Mom, actually Lancho is going to write a letter to God for the same scenario. Hmm. One point, I think that you are able to clear it. Now, the second point, why Lancho has written the letter, it will be clarified to you when we are going to read the entire chapter. Fine. So let us start. These truly did resemble new silver coins. So he's saying these hailstones truly resemble the new silver coins. The boys, exposing themselves to the rain, ran out to collect the frozen pearls. Now, the first thing is the hailstone was coming, the entire crop may be destroyed. So, this was little bit questioning, like the hailstone is coming, and this may be giving us the tension. And Lancho, one question has been raised, but actually, that time the hailstone was not so much heavy. So, he just resembled the hailstone as a new silver coins. Fine. Now, the boys were very much excited. Wow, the hailstones are coming, and they were ready to go and they collect that frozen pearls. Frozen pearls. So, hailstone are referred to as silver coins. Hailstones are referred to as frozen pearls. Fine. Okay. It's really getting bad now. Now, till the time it was okay, he resembles them, but it was getting very much worse. And everyone was just seeing, what is happening? What is happening? What is happening? And the Lancho said, Arey, oh, it is actually getting worse now. Exclaimed the man. I hope it passes quickly. And he's just hoping, please God, please Lord, please, it should pass quickly. Otherwise, it is going to destroy the entire crop. It didn't pass quickly. Actually, it was really getting bad and worse. So it didn't pass quickly. For an hour, the hail rained on the house, the garden, the hillside, the cornfield, on the way, you can say, to the whole valley. Now, the field was white as if covered with snow. So this is like actually what happened, right? Actually, what was happening? I could just once, whenever I teach this chapter, whenever I got this point, for a farmer, how much important the field is, the crops are. That is the sole income for the farmer to generate for the whole household. But the entire field was just destroyed by the hailstone, and nobody could do anything for the same. He was saying, I hope that it should pass quickly, but it was getting bad and worse and worse and worse. So it was saying that whole field was covered with the snow like a salt. Means whole crops were destroyed. So the cornfield on the whole valley, actually they are saying for 1 hour, the hailstones was rained on the house, garden, cornfield, hillside, and everything. Not a leaf remained on the trees. Even not a single leaf was remaining on the trees. The corn was totally destroyed. Very, very important. The whole entire crop was totally destroyed. It was completely vanished. And nothing was left there. So, the flowers were gone from the plants. Even though the flower that was promising a good harvest, it was also destroyed. Lancho's soul was filled with sadness, and Lancho's soul, it was actually that, Lord, what you have done? You have just made my hard work totally zero, and the only sole income that was left only for the farming. That has also you have taken. What should I do now? When the storm had passed, he stood in the middle of the field and said to his son, a plague of Luctus would have left more than this. He said, a plague of Luctus, more than that, they may be remaining for us. But this snow field, But this snow, hailstones, has left nothing for us. Even not a single leaf on a plant, even though those flowers that were promising us a good harvest, even those insects should left something for us. But this hailstone, what has done to us? Nothing has left to us. Actually, here see the emotions of Lancho when he must be speaking these lines. That's very disheartening. The hail has left nothing. This hailstone has left nothing for us. This year we will have no corn. He's saying this year there will be no corn, there will be no harvest. I must be thinking that we must be remaining hungry this year. We must be not having any food to eat. So that night was a sorrowful one. So actually it was very much sorrowful one for Lancho. All our work for nothing. Sometimes we work very hard in our life, but we do not get the results. And we must be speaking these lines to our colleagues. We must be speaking these lines to our friends that why I have done work. Why I have done so much hard work if in return I am not getting anything. The questioning always remain in our mind. Sometimes we ask from our teachers why we have done hard work if we are not getting the marks. But have some patience in the life in such situations. Don't do what Lancho has done at the end of the chapter. We must be reading that. But when in this situation in the life you are getting the point that all our hard work is going waste, then it means something very, very, very big is coming in your life, which you haven't imagined, because you haven't imagined this failure. So how could you imagine that success? Fine. All our work for nothing. There is no one who can help us. So sometimes we feel the same what Lancho is feeling. So there's no one who can help us. We will go hungry this year. So we are going to be hungry this year. It means nobody is going to provide the food for us. Fine. The hail has left nothing. This year we will have no corn. So what he is saying, the hail has left nothing to us. We won't be having any corn. That night was a sorrowful one. All our work for nothing. Lancho is saying this. There is no one who could help us, and we will go all hungry this year. So till this point, I hope you are able to understand the chapter. If you have any doubt, please do comment me. Fine. Please do comment me that there is a doubt and I'm going to solve the same. Fine. So let us begin now again. But in the hearts of all who live that solitary house in the middle of the valley, there was a single hope, help from God. So what they are saying? They are saying, but in the heart, matlab dilon mein, of all the persons who lived in that solitary, that is the single, or you can say singular one house in the middle, means the center of the entire valley, there was a single hope, that was help from God. So the entire family as well as Lancho was having only one hope, that is from the God. Don't be so upset, even though it seems like a total loss. Remember, no one dies of hunger. That's what they say. No one dies of hunger. So they are just consoling themselves by saying this. What? Don't be so upset. Lancho, don't be so upset. Lancho is saying, even though it seems like a total loss. Even though it is saying that everything has been finished, everything has been lost, nothing has been lost. One hope, one single hope is there. That is, remember, no one dies of hunger. Nobody sleeps with an empty stomach. God is there. Someone will be there to come help that person, and nobody is going to sleep with the empty stomach. So that's what they say. No one dies of hunger. Next, although all through the night, Lancho thought only of one hope, the help of God, whose eyes, as he has been instructed, see everything, even what is deep in one conscious. Now, all through the night means all over the night. Lancho was thinking of only one hope he was having, that is the help from God, whose eyes has been instructed to him to see everything, whether it is in the deep consciousness of the person. Lancho was an ox of a man, means Lancho was very strong man, one thing, or you can say a very strong man or a very hard working man. A hard working man. Fine. So sometimes the question raises that an ox of a man. What do you mean by an ox of a man? It means a very strong person, that is a very hard working man, working like an animal in the field, but still he knew how to write. So they are saying whether Lancho was working like a labor, totally like an animal in the field, but he knows how to write. So he was something educated one. Lancho was an ox of a man. It means like a man, he could write, read, and like an animal, he could work very hard. He's having the very strong personality, work hard like a labor in the field. So that is why an ox of a man. Clear? Next. The following Sunday at daybreak, he began to write a letter which he himself would carry to town and place in the mail. It was nothing less than a letter to God. So the following or the coming Sunday, in the early morning, he said that I'm going to write a letter to God and I'm going myself to the post office to mail that letter. Fine. Next. God, in the letter, what he wrote? God, he wrote, if you don't help me, my family and I will go hungry this year. So such a strong belief on God that he wrote a letter to God. He himself gone to the post office to mail that. And in the letter he wrote, if you don't help me, my family, if you are not going to help me now, my family, my children, me, I am going to be hungry this year. I don't have any money to buy the food grains because my entire money inflow is based on that crop only. I need 100 pesos in order to sow my field again and to live until the crops come because the hailstorm. What he demanded? He demanded from the God that I actually need 100 pesos. 1 pesos is actually 3.14 rupee. Approximately, it can vary from year to year. Fine. So I need 100 pesos. So he said, I need 100 pesos in order again to cultivate the crop and to live until the crops again being harvested ripe, and it has to be inflow. It has to be the inflow path of the money. So because the hailstorm, and he wrote the reason, because of the hailstorm, everything was devastated and I need at least 100 pesos to cultivate it again and to remain 1 year with that sort of money. Fine. Next, he wrote, what he wrote? To God on an envelope, put the letter inside, still trouble went to town. Now on the envelope, there is an envelope. Fine. On envelope, he wrote nothing. Just he wrote to God. Bhagwan ke liye. He troubled and he went to town to just mail that. At the post office, he placed a stamp on the letter, dropped it into the mailbox. He went to the post office. He purchased the stamp. He put the stamp and he put it in the mailbox. He pasted the stamp on the envelope and he put it in the mailbox. Okay. Next, One of the employees who was as postman and also helped at the post office went to his boss laughing heartedly and showed him the letter God. Never in his career as a postman had he known that address. So, what do you mean by this? There was one employee who was a postman. Actually, he was a postman and also helped in the post office. He was actually a postman, but in the post office, he actually helped the colleagues as well. So he went to the boss, he went to the postmaster, and he was laughing. See, showed him the letter. Actually, he showed the letter to God. God, see this letter. See, in his entire career, actually haven't seen a letter that has been written to God. And he was laughing. See, postmaster. Now, see what postmaster is doing. The postmaster. Now, very important, okay? The postmaster, a fat, amiable fellow, also broke out laughing. But almost immediately, he turned serious and tapping the letter on his desk, commented, "What faith! I wish I had the faith of a man who wrote this letter." Now, the postmaster was sitting and he saw the letter. He saw that there is a God, and the postmaster was a fat, amiable, lovable fellow. He broke out laughing. He said, actually, I was just like coughing, and I thought that you must be understanding that. Okay. The postmaster saw the letter and he said to God. But immediately he became serious. Actually, why he became serious? He turned serious and tapping the letter on the desk. He was just, and he was saying, "Bhai Saab, what a faith that man is having to the God. What a faith that man who wrote this letter to the God. How much faith that man must be having." What he said? The letter on his desk and commented and told, "What faith?" And what he said? "What faith! I wish I had the faith of a man who wrote this letter." He said, "Bhai साहब क्या faith है? What a faith! What a trust on God! I wish I could have the same faith on the God. I wish I could have the same trust on my God, my supremacy." Now, starting up a correspondence with God. This is the phrase that means Lancho has strong belief on God. Fine. Next, what it shows that Lancho has a strong faith in God. So in order not to shake the writer faith in God, the postmaster came up with an idea. Answer the letter. But when he opened it, it was the evident that to answer it needed something more than goodwill, ink and paper. So actually the postmaster was thinking that we shouldn't break the trust of the Lancho, means to the writer. For him, there was a writer. So he was saying that I shouldn't break the trust of that person who is having a strong trust on the God, faith on the God. So let me answer this. So let me answer this letter. At least the person will be getting satisfied. Okay, God has just replied to me. But when he opened the letter and he saw, "God, I need 100 pesos to cultivate my field and to inflow of money," that the same thing what he wrote in the letter. When he saw that the lender is demanding, "God, I need 100 pesos." So the postmaster was a little bit confused that more than a goodwill, more than a good gesture, more than an ink and a pen and a paper, I have to do something to reply to answer this letter. What do you think in this scenario? Will the postmaster will do more than good ink and paper? You could say, ma'am, if I have read, then yes. If I am reading this chapter one first time, so I could say yes. But if I am going to ask you what you will do in this situation, ma'am, actually, I will also help him. I will actually also help him. Whether I must be having 1 peso, 2 peso, or 3 pesos, I must be helping that person. And there may be the people who must be doing like, okay, jaane dete hai na. But in this situation, what postmaster has done, we should do the same. At least we should help. Fine. Let us see. Ma'am, but what Lancho has did? What Lancho is doing? The question here of you is like, we should do the good deeds if we are doing without disclosing our name. Fine. Let us see. But he stuck to his resolution. He asked for money from his employees. He himself gave part of his salary, and several friends of his were obliged to give something for an act of charity. Now, he was strict to his decision. He thought that, let me help. Let me give the part of the salary to the Lancho. Let me ask the help from the other colleagues, to my friends, to the other post office employees, and everybody was very much grateful. They were obliged. Okay, let us help. Let us make the person satisfied. Let us not break the trust of the writer, of that person who is writing a letter to God. That strong faith, we shouldn't diminish that faith. It was impossible for him to collect the 100 peso. So he was able to send the farmer only a little more than half. So they are saying 100 peso collection was not an easy task for him. So what he did, he collected the money, and actually it was more than half, like more than 50 pesos, but less than 100. And you are going to see that it is 70 pesos. Fine. We are going to read this. Now, he put the money in the envelope addressed to Lancho, and with it a letter containing only a single word as a signature of God. Now, he put the envelope in the mailbox again. Fine. In the letter, he just wrote a God signature, that is God, that it has been sent to you by the God, and put 70 pesos in the envelope. Fine. More than half. Little more than half. Now, the following Sunday, Lancho came a bit earlier than usual to ask if there was a letter. So Lancho was just waiting for the reply from the God. Till this point, we are saying that Lancho has a strong belief on God. Fine. So the following Sunday, Lancho came a bit earlier than usual to ask it that if there was a letter for him. He was asking, any letter for me? It was the postman himself who handed the letter to him, while the postmaster, experiencing the contentment of a man who has performed a good deed, looked on from his office. So when Lancho came to the post office, he was saying, is there any letter for me? So the postman actually, who was laughing, and the postman who make aware to the postmaster about the same, he himself handed the letter to the Lancho. And he said, yes, there is a letter. And the postmaster was so much satisfied. He was in the state of the contentment, and he was saying, wow, I have done something great. I have done something good thing. I have done something good deed. And he was sitting in the office, and he was just seeing, like, with the satisfaction must be the Lancho, the person would be satisfied that God has finally replied him. But their excitement are going to be zero here now. Let us see. Lancho showed not the slightest surprise on seeing the money. Such was his confidence. But he became angry when he counted the money. Now Lancho wasn't surprised that there is a letter from God, but actually he became angry. Why he became angry? Because when he counted the money, it was only 70 pesos, and he demanded for 100 pesos. So here, now we could say that Lancho is little bit stubborn, deed है वो. Secondly, little bit foolish. Why? Because he should understand that God is not coming on the earth to just send him, le beta, take your 100 pesos. But actually, the Lord or the God will be sending the money with the channel, that is through one person. So, Lancho showed not the slightest surprise on seeing the money. Such was his confidence. But he became angry when he counted the money. Fine. Next. God could have made mistake. God couldn't. Sorry, could. God couldn't have made a mistake, nor he have denied Lancho what he had requested. Now Lancho is like this. He's angry, but he's crying and he's like saying, God couldn't do this mistake. God couldn't deny the demand. What Lancho has done, what Lancho has requested, God couldn't deny that request. Now this is over excessive. Now God will be also saying, "Bacha samajh ja." God will be saying, like, I think so. God face would be more similar to this. God will be saying, "What to do with this child? Let me cry first." No. Immediately, Lancho went up to the window to ask for paper and ink. Now, Lancho, fatafat se, he went to the window and he asked, "Give me the pen, give me the ink, give me the paper. I have to write the letter." On the public writing table, that is the common table that has been kept in the post office for writing something, you can say any people will be coming and they want to do or they want to write something on immediate basis, so they can use that table. Fine, public table. Now, on the public writing table, he started to write what he wrote with much wrinkling of his eyebrows, like these wrinkling, twinkling. क्या लिख रहा है वो? Caused by the effort he has to make to express his idea, because he is now so much angry and he's saying very much confused state. He is doing what to write, and he wrote. When he finished, he went to the window to buy a stamp. Now he wrote. What he wrote, we would be listening. We would understand at the end of the chapter and you would be like shocked. Ma'am, this shouldn't be happened to our postmaster. Okay. Let us see. After writing with very much, actually required very much efforts to write anything. He was writing and he gone to the window. Please give me this stamp. Please give me this stamp. And he took the stamp and with the fist, like this, he put the stamp by licking that and he put the fist on that, which he licked and affixed to envelope with the bow of fist. Fine. Now actually the postmaster and the entire staff would be saying that he must be saying thank you God, thank you for your help. But now they are going to be shocked and we are going to be shocked and everyone who is listening this chapter is going to be shocked. What? The moment the letter fell into the mailbox, the postmaster went to open it. Now फटाफट से open करते हैं. It said, "God, of the money that I asked for, only 70 pesos reached to me. Send me the rest since I need it very much." What he is saying? God, that money I demanded was 100 pesos. I asked for, the money which I asked for, only 70 pesos has reached to me. Now send me the rest of the money. But, don't send it to me through the mail, because the post office employees are a bunch of crooks, Lancho. Now what he is saying? He is saying, Lord, the money which I asked for, only 70 pesos has reached to me. Send me the remaining money, that is 30 pesos. And don't send me through the mailbox. Why? Because these post office employees are bunch of crooks. Means they are badmash. They are the only people who took 30 pesos from the envelope. So they are thieves. They are the bunch of crooks. Don't send me through this mailbox. And the chapter ended here. So just tell me, this must be the colleagues of the post office and postman. They must be crying like this hell. What, Lancho, bhai? What you did? You are saying a bunch of crooks, but we are the only person who helped you through God. We don't want to break the trust of God. We don't want to break the trust of you for God, actually. So the chapter ended, and you must be thinking, man, this was wrong. This shouldn't happen with the postmaster. This shouldn't happen with the post office employees. But in this situation, still don't put a full stop on helping anyone. If the God has given you this much power, always help someone, whether they are appreciating you or not. That God is going to be appreciating you every single act. Mark my words. So let us do some our NCERT question discussion, and there are some PYQs, and we will be going to end the chapter. Fine. Now, the first question is, who does Lancho have complete faith in? The Lancho was having complete faith in God. Which sentences in the story tell you this? What are the sentences in the chapter that are disclosing that Lancho has a great faith in God? Understood the question? So Lancho has complete faith in God, that God knows everything and helps us in every problem for Lancho. And the sentences which are showing this: God, he wrote, if you don't help me, my family and I will go hungry this year. Yes, here it shows he is having strong faith on God. He wrote to God on the envelope, put the letter inside, and still troubled, went to town. Now the second sentence is showing us that he has the strong faith in God. Now third one, God couldn't have made a mistake. God cannot make any mistake, nor could have denied Lancho, nor could deny Lancho what he had requested. So these three lines are some of the sentences we can say disclosing that he has a strong faith in God. Next question. Why does the postmaster send money to Lancho? Ma'am, actually he doesn't want to break the trust of the Lancho on God. Very good answer. Why does he sign the letter, God? He signed the letter, God, so that he shouldn't be able to break the trust. It means he was not expecting to disclose his personality. Why? He do not want to break the trust. And the answer is similar. Then how we are going to differentiate when we are writing the answer? See, Lancho wrote to God asking for financial help. Why? Because their crop was destroyed by hail. That is also good. They need the money for replanting. Why he need the money? Again for reharvesting, recultivating. The postmaster read Lancho letter, which was addressed to God. The postmaster read the letter. It was addressing to the God. He laughed because the letter in reality cannot reach to the God. So that is why he was laughing. So he admired the Lancho faith in God. But actually he respected the faith that Lancho is having to the God. So that is why he sent the money to the Lancho and signed it God, that Lancho will believe that God has answered his prayers. Now see, a kind heart. He just wrote the letter, just writing the signature of God, so that the Lancho who is praying to the God, his prayer actually is not denied by the God. No, why he wrote the letter only God? Just not to break the trust of the Lancho. Now, did Lancho try to find out who has sent the money to him? Nope. Why? Because he was having a strong faith in God. So he must be thinking that God has only sent the money. Why or why not? See, Lancho didn't try to find out who had sent the money to him because he had complete faith in God. He couldn't believe that it could be anybody other than him who would send him the money. So his faith in God was so strong that he believed that he had sent him to him with the help to help his problem, to help his to help his or to help him in his problem. Fine. So his faith in God was so strong. It means he was having a strong faith in God, and he actually believed that he had sent the money to him for his help. Actually, he sent the money for helping the Lancho in his problems. Fine. Next. Are you able to understand this chapter? If you have any doubt, do comment me. If you have any doubt in any of the question, do tell me in the comment section. We are ready to help you. We are here to help you. Fine. Now, the question is, are there people like Lancho in real world? Now, this answer I need in the comment section. Fine. Please comment the answer. I'm going to check it. I'm saying you. Fine. I need to know these, like what are your mindset after reading this chapter. Fine. Please comment the answer of this question. I'm getting side so that you can take the screenshot. Please take the screenshot and do answer this. Please let me drink the water till now. Done? Screenshot done? Fine. Do comment the answer. Now, there are two kinds of conflicts in this story, between humans and nature and between the human themselves. How are these conflicts illustrated? Very important question for 5 marks. Sorry, 6 marks. 6 marks question. Okay. Now they are saying there are two kinds of conflicts, two kinds of fight between a man and the nature and between the men. How could you explain this? The first point is between man and nature is like that hailstorm scenario you have to explain. Between man and man, the post office employees and the Lancho's faith. That is the clashing. So these two scenarios you have to explain. Fine. Let us read this answer and understand what we have to write actually in the answer sheet. The story, A Letter to God, shows two types of conflicts, one between a man and the nature and the other among men themselves. At the beginning of the story, the farmer hoped for a rain shower for the benefit of his conflict. So at the starting of the chapter, the farmer was waiting for the rain, for the good harvest. Fine, for the good cornfield. On actually receiving the rain, actually when he received the rain, he becomes overjoyed. Sometimes when we are getting something, we get overjoyed with this. Fine. And started thinking about the profit. And we started thinking, okay, now we will have this much profit. Now this has happened. We are just going to plan our entire whole year in a one single day. Now, that would come in. Later, his happiness is turned into sorrow. Later, the happiness is converted into the sorrow when the wind becomes strong, leading to the hailstorms. And this shows, what actually this shows? This shows the disagreement between a man and nature. Means this dissatisfaction between a man and nature. Now, next thing. The second, when Lancho start doubting the honesty of the post office. Now the second thing is the Lancho is doubting. What he is doubting? The honesty of the postman, the post office employees, actually who helped the Lancho, who helped him with the money without telling his name. So this is the conflict among men themselves, wherein we are ready to trust the idea of God's presence, but we are not ready to trust each other. We are ready, actually, the God is present. Now, there may be some students who are going to say me, ma'am, actually, God, there is no God. We are atheists. But you must be having a belief on a supreme power. That's something you are believing to the universe, you are believing to the nature. That is only the God. Fine. We generally take means one or two names, other names, but actually the supreme power is one only, right? So this is the conflict between a man and the man. That we are ready to trust the supreme power, we are ready to trust the universal powers, we are ready to trust the nature, but we are not ready to trust a one person. That is like us only. The person is visible to us. We are not trusting that person. Now, some PYQ, that is previous year questions, and these generally carrying 2 or 3 marks, and some are of MCQ based as well. So we are generally doing the short questions, we will be doing the long questions, we are having some homework questions, but in the video we are doing some short and 3 marks questions. Fine. Let us see. Why did the postmaster laugh at Lancho's letter? The postmaster laughed at Lancho's letter because it was addressed to God and he had never seen such type of letter before. So this is of 2011. Fine. So why he was laughing? Because he has never seen this type of letter before, and it was addressed to God. It can come in a form of 3 marks. It can come in a form of 1 mark, and okay, and it can give the having the weightage of 6 marks, but here you have to explain the whole story. Right? Now, when did Lancho receive the letter? Why did he become angry? When did the Lancho receive the letter? Why did he become angry? Lancho received, it is of 2014, and we have to write the answer. The answer is of answer 1 only. You have to explain me the more answer. The introduction for this will be same. This is the part of the answer. Part of the answer. Right? Like the first question, it can be the part of the answer. But when did Lancho receive the letter? Lancho ko letter kab mila? We know this should be the introductory line, right? Intro lines. Now, detailed lines or detailed answer, you have to do comment. But we are going to discuss. That when he got the letter, when the post office employees got the letter, they were very much shocked, and actually they were laughing because they haven't got the letter before. But after that, they saw the letter and it was demanding 100 pesos. Fine. After this, they were demanding 100 pesos. So with the help of post office employees, the postmaster sent how much money? 70 pesos. And it was less than demanded. So Lancho became angry. Fine. So these are the points you have to write, and the detailed answer you have to write in the comments. This must be your one more homework. Now, next. When did Lancho receive the letter? Why did he become angry? That is the 2014 question. Fine. Now, we have discussed this. Same it is written. Same the answer is written. And you have to give me the second detailed answer. The homework will remain the same. Lancho received the letter on the following Sunday. When he went to the post office, he became angry because he received only 70 pesos while he demanded 100 pesos. Now, please write it with the points which I mentioned in this slide first. Right? Now, why did Lancho describe the post office employees as a bunch of crooks? Were they really a bunch of crooks? 2008-11, and the most important question, very important question of 3 marks. Very, very important question. Mark this question. Right? When Lancho opened the envelope, he found only 70 pesos instead of 100 pesos. So he doubted that post office employees had taken out 30 pesos. When he opened and he saw that only 70 pesos are there, so he doubted, must 30 pesos have been taken by these post office employees. So he called them a bunch of crooks. But similarly, if we in reality we saw, they were not a bunch of crooks, but they were actual people who helped with the money, who helped him with the money. So they were not a bunch of crooks. Next. How much money did Lancho need and how much money did they receive? C. Repeated 1 mark MCQ. And can be the part of 6 marks question. Plus 3 marks question. Fine. Can be the part. Okay. Now let us see. Lancho needed 100 pesos to sow his field and to live until the next crop. He received only 70 pesos, but he received actually only 70 pesos. Now, what did Lancho write in his second letter to God? But please tell me how much letter was there in the whole chapter, a letter to God? How much letter? I am not saying how much Lancho sent the letter. I am saying the total letter number in the entire chapter, a letter to God. There are 3 letters. 1, a letter sent to God by Lancho. Second, a letter sent by postman, ye post office employees to Lancho. And the third one, again, the reply, the answer that Lancho has sent to the God. So 3 letters in total, a letter to God we have seen. Fine. So what did Lancho write in his second letter? Means second letter, a letter here refer to the answer when he answered the letter that was sent. Why did Lancho not want the money to be sent by mail? Very, very important. So this is very important question. 3 marks. Now the main points which we have to write is Lancho wrote to God to send him 30 pesos, which were left as he needed them badly. So Lancho demanded 30 pesos, which were left. Why? Because he needed that money badly, or you can say on urgent basis. But he requested God not to send the money this time through the mail because the post office employees were dishonest. Because the post office employees were actually dishonest as per Lancho. Fine. Now you have to explain this line more to mark the complete answer. I have written the main points. I have written the main point. Why he was dishonest, you have to explain the again. Fine. So why did Lancho not want the money to be sent by mail? Because he thought that the post office employees were dishonest and he symbolized them as a bunch of crooks. You can add upon that. Fine. Now, there is some MCQs and you have to give me the answer. The first question is, where was Lancho's house? Write it in the comment section. There are 3 MCQs questions and you have to give me the answer in the comment section. Fine. So, where was Lancho's house situated? Near the sea, at the top of a hill. Very nice. Next. Lancho's field needed dash for a good harvest. He need hail. No, actually he needs the rain. Rain. Third, what does Lancho call the post office employees? How the Lancho symbolize the post office employees? Ma'am, bunch of crooks. Fatafat se mark karo. Okay. A bunch of robbers. A bunch of crooks. That is the D option is the correct one. So these 4 questions are your homework questions. You can see the slide and please give me the answer for the same. These are going to be carrying 5 marks. Fine. 5 marks in your examination, but they will be giving you the simplest question by making the MCQs. And I'm going to give you the question in a form of subjective so that your answer writing should be on top class. Fine. So there are 4 questions and every question is a previous year based. Please do these 4 questions in your registers, in your copies, and do tell me about the same in the comment section. So this was whole from my side. I hope you enjoyed the whole lecture. Thank you for such a great cooperation. Bye bye. Take care.